of this in a while. Listen carefully.
Go in there and find your side, man.
Go there of this in a while. Listen carefully.
Go in there and find your side, man.
They label us minorities, black and brown, putting it down. They can't stop us. My niggas in my SA partner, down like a motherfucker.
See, because this could have all been prevented if they just went on, had the court where it was supposed to, the trial where it was supposed to be, trying to take it way out there and in white folks' neighborhood. But see, this is expected.
We wanted to have on this panel here in this church a couple of gang members, one from the Crips, one from the Bloods. There were objections raised to bringing them in here. These are two young men, one whose gang name is Little Monster, the other whose gang name is Bone, who came to our attention because of a recent book written by journalist Leon Bing, the book Do or Die. You're going to meet them both now, and in a couple of minutes we'll talk to the folks here to find out why it was that the preference was not to have them in the church. Let's go to that tape now. Bone, you and I talked on the phone the other day, and you told me you didn't think these people in the church represent the community, represent the neighborhood. They've returned the favor. They don't think you guys represent it either.
All right. As you can see, they didn't want to allow us in their church, you know. And it's been times where I've seen the preachers and the pulpit, what do you call it, deacons. I see them testify to everybody but a gang member, you know. They try to tell people to get Jesus in their life, and they'll talk to the person who already looks like he has Jesus in their life, and then we come along, you know, they shy away from us, you know, but we're no different from anybody else, you know.
Well, they shy away from you. I mean, I'm going to use your name now, the name you've asked me to use. You don't want to use your real name, you want to use your gang name.
That's right.
Little Monster, right?
That's right.
Even that speaks of violence, doesn't it? It's a tough name.
Hey, the Bible says come as you are. It doesn't say because of your moniker or the clothes that you wear.
Yeah.
You know, but here's a solid example of how the church and the community are not working together.
Yeah.
Neither one of you is an active gang member right now, is that correct?
I'm not an actor.
But that teardrop that you have tattooed under your eye, what does that signify?
It signifies 1 year in jail or that you murdered someone.
In your case?
Both.
Can you understand why those folks were a little nervous about having you represent the community on national television, about having people think these are the young men who speak for the community?
Well, I'm sure they was afraid because only thing they know about us is what the media tells them. They don't know my intellect or his intellect, you know. They don't.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you both is you and I talked on the phone, and I was very impressed by how eloquent you were. Let me, in the time that we've got, and I told you we've only got about 10 minutes, either one of you, what can be done to stop the violence? What can be done to bring this kind of thing to an end?
Let me say this. It's not just the Rodney King verdict that made the crowd move like we did, okay? We're talking 400 years of oppression. We're talking Latasha Harlins. We're talking
Ron Settles.
Right, we're talking all of this.
Oliver X. Beasley.
Exactly. So, I mean, you just can't suppress 400 years of oppression overnight. We're mad, we're upset. We're frustrated.
And you know, they told us, you know, to let the system, you know, people told me the system's gonna work it out with Latasha Harn. You see what the system did. The system's gonna work it out with Rodney King.
It slapped us in the face again.
Yeah, all right, you know. And people feel that we're not responsible citizens to come across the nation. That's because they don't know us. The only thing they know about us is what the media tells them, you know, and they look at us through the eyes of the media, and so they so-called afraid. But I know plenty of churches that bring us up there every Friday, every Sunday. You know, I know churches that love to have us, you know.
Let me ask you both something. We're standing in front of a building that's still smoking, right? Still smoldering. This was, until yesterday or the day before, it was an apartment building. It was a home. People lived there. You and I talked yesterday on the phone, and I said to you, who's getting hurt here? People in the neighborhood are getting hurt.
Well, let me first say, a home burning is a tragedy, but a liquor store, because we got too many liquor stores in my community anyway. It's part of the problem.
Owned by Koreans.
Owned by Koreans.
Taking money out of our community, not putting it back, disrespecting us, and basically treating us bad.
They send their kids to college on our buying 40 ounces of beer, you know, and everywhere you look is a liquor store, you know. Now, I really don't condone the big markets being burnt all the way down, because I know my grandmother had to shop at the markets. But all these liquor stores across the street, down the street, you can walk every 90 yards, you got a liquor store, Korean zone.
Hey, Bon, what was that you said? We're renovating our neighborhood.
Yeah, renovation, you know.
One of you, I don't know which it was, told one of my colleagues that this is sort of like the SNL scandal. Who was that? Was that you?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Let me say this. I don't know what city official allowed this, but in the midst of all this violence that was going on within LA, they closed 85 schools in South Central LA. Where are these kids going? They put these kids right on the street. You got 8-year-old kids in and out of buildings.
Yeah.
Where's the logic?
You know, instead of setting up some type of a recreation center to, you know, to bring the kids to while this stuff is going on, they have them report to every day, you know, to calm them down. The kids are the ones out here in the streets, you know, and we don't control the kids. They close all the schools, you know. So to me, it's kind of like a rhetoric, you know. They're saying you got to tell the children to stop, but then what are they going to do? They're going to be in the streets all day. You know, you got parents, irresponsible parents, you got responsible parents, you got parents with their own personal problems, on drugs, you know what I'm saying? That's a relief to them when they go to school, you know, so they don't have to watch them whatever. Now, the kids are here like 24/7, and they don't know the emotions or the morals of going in and out of the store, you know what I'm saying, all day. They're not even looking at it like that.
Well, you just said we don't control the kids.
Yeah.
You're wearing the colors of the Bloods, you're wearing the colors of the Crips, two biggest gangs in the area. If you guys can't control the kids, if you guys can't tell them to lay off, who can?
Their parents.
It starts at home.
But yet and still, again, with so many kids out of school on hot days like it has been, you can't keep these kids confined in the house.
You know, the United States government cocked up, what, $500 million to save the SNL? How much was that money they kicked? $500 billion to save the SNL scandals? I mean, tell me they can't open up a recreation hall? They can open up the Coliseum and bring every kid to LA to the Coliseum for all day and educate them and talk to them. But they don't want to do that. They want to parade around the Coliseum and make sure nobody gets in. All they got to do is the LA Unified School District can bust those kids in there every day. You know, if it's supposed, I understand it's dangerous for them at school, but they have a place to take them, but they don't rather do that. They rather spend the money on saving Ivan Boesky and the other guy that ripped off all those old peoples and the SNL scandals, you know. And people look at this. You got the working class guy who says, well, shit, they're ripping off the SNLs for $500 billion. Why shouldn't I go get that VCR? Or why shouldn't I go get that fruit or Coke, you know? I work hard, I deserve it, you know? Just don't let the Daryl Gates and Bradley fool you and talking about these are thugs doing this. You see on the tapes, you know, these people don't look like thugs, they're like family. They're going in with their whole families. And as far as the gang situation, we can give a damn about looting and burning. That's not our thing, you know?
I think it's straight up against the pigs.
Yeah.
Number one.
And they think it's straight up against us, you know? And I heard people call them material opportunists because they're running in these stores, and that's right. And with the gangbangers, this opportunity is to get at these police, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been killing us, stomping us, slapping us for years, you know? But it never comes out. And everybody knows they've been doing it since the beginning of time.
And when we get them on tape, they get found not guilty in a system that doesn't count for us.
Yeah. In the couple of minutes that we've got left together, sum up for me what difference it would have made in the Rodney King verdict if one or more of those cops had been found guilty. You think you think this would have been stopped, or would it just have been something else that would have triggered it?
I think had they been found guilty, not one, but all four on all counts.
Because all four of them was guilty.
Exactly. Had they been found guilty, none of this would have happened.
You wouldn't even be standing here, Ted.
None of this would have happened.
Somewhere else.
That's true. Tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe I'd be here next week or the week
or
after
next year, maybe.
Oh, it's no doubt because the situation in LA has been volatile for
But see, that would have been the uplift of the people. Finally, they caught the guys with their hand in the cookie jar.
That's right.
So we figured they're going to prosecute them. They got them.
And we can feel that justice is working for us in our community, which it hasn't.
That's
it
right.
never has.
And me, myself, I never had faith in the system. But I seen him on videotape, and I watched Terry White prosecute him. You know, I said, well, maybe this is going to be the turning point. Maybe this time, we do going to get some justice. And I heard the verdict, man. I was in the store, and I watched a grown man cry with his little 7-year-old. You know, he didn't say why he was crying, but I knew. I didn't ask him, because I heard the word, too. You know, this was a slap in the face. You know, and don't be fooled and let them try to. Now they're gonna write it off on the gangs that's doing all this burning and shit. That's not us.
Right.
That's not us. You can go to any neighborhood. They're in their own neighborhoods, and they're waiting for it to get dark, like the police are waiting for it to get dark, because the police want to kill the so-called gang member and vice versa.
So it's on. Back
we don't
and forth,
care nothing about
each way.
No shopping stores and none of that stuff.
So if it seems a little quieter today, when you hear, I don't know if you did, I mean, maybe you were just riding over here, The president gave a speech tonight.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Calling for a restraint, asking for people. Right?
Yeah.
Does that have any impact on you when George Bush talks?
Look, George Bush doesn't have any. The only impact that he's had on our community has been his years under Reagan, when Reagan's steadily snatching social programs out of our communities. You see what I'm saying?
The same CETA programs who came about because of the Watch Ride. You know what I'm saying? You had the Watch labor movement because of the Watch Ride.
Exactly.
And people always said, well, what good's gonna come out of this? It's gonna be some programs. I heard some white architects on the radio the other day talking about coming in. You know, this is what it took, you know? And that's the same way the CETA programs, the hot lunch programs, and all that stuff came about because of the Watch Ride. You know, I wasn't even born in the Watch Ride.
One more
George
question.
Bush doesn't carry any clout in our community.
All right. Rodney King came out today. Seemed genuinely moved, really concerned about all the violence. Begging people
I saw that.
to back off.
Yeah.
How about that? Does that have any impact on you?
No, it doesn't, because, like I said, it's just not about Rodney King. Rodney King lit the match.
Yeah.
Now we're burning.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not Rodney King. It's everything that's been going on. We've been slapped in our face time and time again. This Rodney King case is an exact replica of what happened with Arthur McDuffie in 1979 in Miami.
That's right.
Then they had the riots in 1980.
And what was her name? Eula Love. They shot her 19
1978.
times. She held a butter knife from
right.
across the street.
That's New York.
You know, they claim to be so professional, but they need to do their job and take people to the correctional. You know, they rather, instead of apprehending, they rather shoot anyway.
All right. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people tonight watching this broadcast who will not agree with what you've said, but I'm sure they will agree. You're both eloquent young men, and I thank you for coming here tonight and talking to me.
Okay, can I say something to the Church of AME across the street?
As long as it's polite.
It's very polite. Sir, I don't know your name, Reverend, whoever, but it's okay you didn't accept us in your church, because we've not been accepted anywhere. You know, I was kind of surprised, but then again, I was not kind of surprised, because I know the politics of the church, you know what I'm saying? Not all churches. I'm not stereotyping all churches, but I wanted to be known on the record that the AME church, they want to stop the problem, you know what I'm saying? And we here, but they put us in the back alley while they sit over there and take breaking bread and water.
Crooks and criminals.
Gentlemen, again, I thank you both.
All right, thank you for having us.